Hello and good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody here on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Let me know where you are joining me from. So, as I have my pleasantries, I'm going to just try and make sure that we are live on my platforms. And let me check my platforms really, really quick. And of course, let me know where you are joining me from. Let me know if you're hearing me and seeing me, and let me know where in the world you are joining me from, and of course, which platform. Again, good evening. My name is Debbie Jolie, and I am coming to you from the beautiful Twin Island of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so Facebook, I'm live on Facebook and just refreshing LinkedIn a little bit. And I think we should be live there as well. And yes, we are live. Wonderful. So I'm going to assume we're live on YouTube, right? We usually are. So
Yes,
again, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is our fifth live, Marcia. It is our
I,
fifth live.
yeah,
Yes, I believe so.
yeah,
And
yes, it is.
all right. And I just want to let everybody know what the lives are about. If you have not been joining us for the last 2 weeks or so, we are chatting about our workshop that takes place next week, guys. Takes place next week on January the 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm going to drop the registration link in the comments soon. And it's all about from branding to budgeting, right? Two areas I think that are absolutely critical for entrepreneurs to master in 2024 is all about their personal brand and all about financial wellness, financial health, getting your finances right for your business, right? So with that, I'm going to let Marcia introduce herself to the audience again as I drop in the link here.
Okay, no problem. Before I do that, Debbie, I'm hearing an echo from your side.
From my side, okay.
Yes,
Let me see. I'm gonna take off my fan to make sure if that improves it at all.
okay.
Still hearing an echo? Let me know.
I guess okay. I'm hearing it delayed, but I'll go ahead and introduce myself. We'll see if it rectifies itself. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this beautiful world. My name is Marcia Armstrong. I am the founder and CEO of A Purpose Life, and my superpower is equipping corporate professionals as well as small and micro business owners with the financial solutions that they need to create generational wealth. And it's a pleasure to be able to be here with you another night as we will discuss our topic for today.
Fantastic. Yes, I feel we are a little shaky, but we we are going to go through. We are going to go through. We as we always do, right? And as Marcia was mentioning, this is really wonderful and exciting for us to do. This is our fifth live. And today we want to talk about balancing your lifestyle and your financial goals, right? And I want to touch on your personal brand and your lifestyle, right? So I've been in entrepreneurship for a while and I've always been a little bit of a juggler, juggling many things, right? Juggling either my professional career alongside some lecturing or getting into entrepreneurship and still having, and still teaching and always having my plate very, very full. And at times that's not always the best space to be in. And that can really impact the way in which the successes that we would like to have in our business and our, and our brand. So I want to really touch on why it is important to ensure that you have some balance and some equity between your lifestyle and your personal brand. And the truth is, when you have a little bit more balance between the two, you show up in a more authentic way. You show up in a way where you can serve your clients and you give them the best that you can, right? So one of the major things I think is very important for entrepreneurs who may already have their personal brand or who are thinking about launching their personal brand, it's very important, of course, to begin to set boundaries, right? And these are also boundaries for yourself, right? We think about boundaries and we think about us versus someone else, or us versus a particular situation, or we need to say no to something. But sometimes we need to set boundaries in our own life in terms of our time management, how much of energy we expend on social media, the types of things we take into our, mental and physical state, right? That's important. And it's something I had to learn because I was always on the side of work, and didn't have enough balance. And then, of course, didn't quite enjoy this entrepreneurial journey. So that's one of the things that I think is like super important. The second thing I think that is important when you blend your personal brand and your lifestyle is really looking at how you show up online. How you show up online is how you show up offline. How you show up online and how you show up in the coffee shop should be the same thing. The way people interact with you in the comments, the content that you produce, when they see you in the mall, it should be the same thing. And I get that question a lot, where people sometimes there's a misconception that because you want to put your best foot forward online, that's a different person than who you are offline. And the truth is, no, it's not. Right? The person, the image that you are portraying online should be the image that persons interact with offline. And why? Because for one reason alone, it's going to get very exhausting if you have two personas, right? Where you show up in this bright way online, and then persons don't have quite the same experience with you offline. So so again, that's where, and we've spoken about this on these lives, a clarity of vision, clarity of purpose, understanding who you are. That's how you begin to show up in an authentic way, right? The third thing, of course, is that you have to communicate your vision and your mission and your values through your content. So the values that you hold very close to you and what makes you who you are is really what needs to come through in your content. You don't need to look at another consultant. You don't need to look at another accountant. You don't need to look at, another person in your space and try to mimic them. You need to be able to showcase what makes you different and what sets you apart. And this is what needs to come through in your content. And you will notice that is the most authentic part of you. And that is how you are able to differentiate yourself. And that's how you begin to build your tribe, right? And the last one, the very fourth one, which is important, especially as we grow and time changes and, we go through a number of things. It's important to regularly audit your personal brand because we evolve, we change. We may even decide, okay, we've spent many years in this business. I want to start a new business, or I want to pivot a little bit because my lifestyle, my needs, my passions have changed somewhat. So, in order for the personal brand to match that lifestyle, for the personal brand to match your vision, your values at all times, it's good to audit where you are. So it's important to, it's thing I do at the end of a year. Naturally, you kind of look back at the year, you look back at the things you've done, you assess whether this is where you want to continue going, this is where you want to continue growing, and you are able to look at those things and then set a new strategy for the new year ahead. So it's important. It's always good not just to be a doer, but also to be reflective as well, to make sure that you are in alignment with where you want to be and what you want to do and what you want to showcase to person. So we think about our brand on the line, but our brand and who we are and the lifestyle that we want to lead and we want to portray must all be in sync together, right? So with that, of course, I kick it across to you, Marcia, in terms of your tips tonight.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Debbie. And I love the 3 points that you would have mentioned, which would have been the authenticity, not having those two personas, and how it can become a bit exhausting, trying to be one person online and then being a different person offline. So I really love that particular point, and I wholeheartedly agree in regards to making sure that whatever you are doing is in alignment with your core values and your belief system, etc. To add from a financial perspective, I want us to look at the fact, like, how can we actually balance our lifestyles as our topic is, and our financial goals. And it's about understanding that you can balance short-term enjoyment with long-term goals. Sometimes in our financial journey, we believe that we cannot manage our finances and still enjoy life. That we believe that it has to be a either or. I can't do both. But I am here to let you know tonight that you can manage your finances responsibly and still live and still enjoy life. But it's to understand, especially when it comes to short-term enjoyment, there's a term that we say in personal finance, and it's called delayed gratification. There are going to be some things that you might have to delay in the short term because of what that long-term vision is down the road. And it's not a situation where you're depriving yourself or you're restricting yourself from experiencing what you need to experience, but you're allowing yourself to recognize that, I might have to pause something right now. I might have to eliminate something right now because I'm trying to work on this particular goal within the next couple of months or within the next year. But you know that once you've achieved the goal, it's going to put you so much further ahead in regards to what your actual vision is for your life. And so, what are some ways in which we can actually incorporate financial wellness that allows us to tie it to what our personal well-being is? And number one, I would say, firstly, that you have to have some level of boundaries. I know it's very hard for some of us to say no, to say no to others or to say no to things. But when we have boundaries, it's not about keeping people out, it's about protecting our space. And when it comes to financial boundaries or financial wellness, you understand that you're not trying to please everybody all the time, but there are going to be some instances where you have to be a little bit selfish in regards to making sure that your mental capacity is taken care of, in making sure that you're not operating from a place of regret once you make a decision. So it is for you to get to a place where you understand that, if I do say no for right now, it's not forever, and I am able to, achieve what I need to achieve down the road by just having some boundaries in place now. Because when we talk about financial wellness or balancing lifestyle, we want to incorporate habits that allow us to reduce our stress. So when you manage your money well, it does reduce the stress that you would encounter, whether financially, whether emotionally, mentally, or relationally. It reduces stress overall. It also allows you to achieve your goals because there's a vision attached to what you're doing. There's more intentionality. There's more focus on what it is that you want to be able to do. And so therefore, there's a level of, when it comes to your decision making, you're not someone that's unstable in your decision making. You're very clear in regards to the things that you want to be able to do. Some other things you can look at as well in regards to cultivating or balancing your lifestyle in regards to achieving your financial goals is being able to prioritize your financial education. Yes, there might have been some things that we weren't taught when we were young in our homes, but at some point in our adulthood, we got to stop blaming our parents. I know, right? We got to stop blaming mommy and daddy, because at some point we got to take responsibility. We got to understand that they only could have taught us to the level that they knew how to do so. But now that you are an adult, you are now taking ownership. You're taking accountability in regards to how do I make sure that I have the level of financial knowledge needed to make an informed decision, and it is not a situation where I enter or I make decisions based on things that I'm not fully aware of. All right, so that is one area for sure. And lastly, I would say here is being able to seek professional advice. Now, you can only go so far doing it on your own, but we know there's an African proverb that tells us if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So when it comes to your financial journey, it's recognizing that you are not where you want to be right now, but how do I get to where I need to be down the road? And this is where now you look at someone as a professional, whether an advisor, whether a coach like myself, that can actually come in and show you the strategies that you need to have in order to take you across what we call the bridge, so that you're able to achieve what you want to achieve. Because doing it yourself, DIY, you can only DIY so much and for so long, right? But at some point, you're going to have to put the brakes on that, because think about it this way. If you decide to do it on your own, think about the time that you will have to spend doing it. Think about the money that you might have missed out on because you were busy trying to get it all figured out. And the thing is that there are certain things that have to go in a particular order or sequence. But what happens is that when we try to learn everything, it means that I'm taking on a grace, or I'm taking on a skill set that is not mine to carry. So I ended up putting more pressure on myself because I'm trying to learn things that are outside of my scope, instead of seeing someone who has already achieved what I want to achieve, or seeing someone who is at a different level to where I am. And instead of me asking help, I decide to do it on my own. But it's for us to reach out and ask for the help that we want. The thing is that things like pride can cause people to be bound for so long. Things like pride can cause you to be in a situation where you're isolated. Things like pride might tell you, hey, don't share your information, don't get embarrassed, don't let anyone know what you're struggling with or what your challenges are. And guess what happens? When we decide to listen to that small voice, it keeps us in a place for longer than we need to be. And then we realize that this time next year, we have not moved, we have not grown, we have not progressed in any area at all. So this is your confirmation tonight. Don't be afraid to raise your hand and say, you know what, I need assistance. I need someone to put some fresh eyes on what I'm experiencing. I need someone that can be unbiased and be able to tell me like what's happening. And these are ways in which you can balance your lifestyle and balance your financial goals all in one, because it's not the either or scenario as I would have mentioned. We're matching everything together, and we're understanding that one decision that we make actually it affects a ripple effect. It affects every single area of our life. So when we look at life like that, where there's a harmony going on, and if something is out of sync, it affects every single other area. So I always tell persons, if you have issues with your finances, it means you might have other issues that might be springing up as well that are related to what you're experiencing in your finances as well. All right. So again, when it comes to financial lifestyle, balancing lifestyle and financial goals, number one, it is to be able to understand. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to learn about what it is that you're interested in. Learn about the financial terms. Understand the jargon, understand the concepts, understand the terms. Be able to get to that place where you understand the importance of that. and then as well as having a level of stability that you need. But again, by understanding that everything that you do in your financial wellness is tied to you as a personal, as an individual, which means that your boundaries, you have to have boundaries, right? If you don't have boundaries, somebody else will create your boundary for you, and you don't want that. All right, so back to you, Debbie.
You know, you always hitting those gems, eh? You always hitting those gems. I want to mention what you just said there about a coach, because that is very true for me. I had hit a brick wall in 2016, and I think, of course, I sat in pride, and you say pride, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to use that word, but it is that I thought that I had enough corporate experience in the different fields, and I know what I'm doing until I hit the brick wall, and I'm saying, but I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it kind of just plateaued. And when I got a coach, the coach said, Debbie, do you do this? Debbie, do you do that? And it was a whole audit and reflective exercise. And I had to be honest with where I was, and I had to pay this coach. But she set me on a road. She gave me a roadmap. This is what you need to do. This is the next step, and so on and so on. And that kind of broke me out of the mindset I had, and so persons don't really realize how important and how valuable a coach is, because sometimes we do it alone and we think we're doing okay, but really we really not, or we might have deficiencies there, right? That's one. The other thing you said, which was about the accountability, uh that is very big too. Lots of persons, blame others for where they are, especially parents. Okay, I didn't get this from my parents. I didn't get these type of opportunities. I've heard that before, and I say to them, okay, I hear you, but you are the captain of this ship. You have to navigate it now. So yes, there was a point when they didn't do what they were supposed to do for you, but now you have to do it for yourself, and you can't use those things as a crutch, right? And you said as well, too, months, there are some money issues. When you If you examine it, you will realize that that is tied to a lot of other emotional and traumatic things, and it might actually be an indicator of other spaces in our lives that we have to kind of look at and fix. And that is, pretty, it's you had some golden ones there, Marcia. So I appreciate that, because we really do need to, we don't need to think about things just on the surface, right? We think about money as maybe just, physical bills and so on, but it's deeper than that. We have emotional connection to money, how we see it, how we value it, how we look at it in other people, so we have a lot to unpack as people, as Caribbean people, as entrepreneurs, as persons that are now starting up, right? So great. So with that, I want to add back our workshop slide, right? From branding to budgeting. I'm very excited to collaborate with Marcia on this workshop that takes place next week, January the 31st, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The registration link is in the comments. And of course, as I tell my community, feel free to reach out to me if you need any more, you have any more questions, or you need anything answered, feel free to reach out to me. I am excited to collaborate on this workshop, and I really, really believe that if you get these two things right in 2024, that you're going to have an absolutely excellent yeah, all right. So with that, Marcia, any closing comments there?
I just want to tell persons again, you know, get in the room, right? Make sure you register using the links in the comments. Get into the room. If you want to be able to create the year that you want, this is not the year for us to wish upon something. This is the year for us to do. And it is for you to take this opportunity. You have Debbie coming from the personal branding perspective. You have me coming from the financial perspective in regards to your business budgeting. You need to get in the room and be able to get the tools and strategies that you need to create the year 2024 that you want to be able to live within, right? And you want to be able to experience. So if you have any questions about registration, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself and to reach out to Debbie, and we will answer all questions that will come our way. For those that have signed up, we salute you. And for others that might be on the fence, I hope that if you go back and look at our previous lives and all the topics that we've covered thus far, and you've seen that we've given value, you can just imagine what we will do on the 31st of January from 6 to 8 p.m. ANC. Get in the room today.
Wonderful. And so with that, I say thank you all who joined us. I saw Darwin joined us from Facebook. So I say thank you. And of course, we have a final live is on this Thursday. So you don't want to miss it. We'll be back here at the same time, 7 p.m. and talking all about our workshop from branding to budgeting and what you can and how you can really benefit from attending this workshop. So guys, you all have a great evening and we'll see you on Thursday.